everyone, it is Dr. Cree. Welcome to this edition of the Dr. Cree and Me Show. And we're going to talk about four foods that can cause gout. I'm not in my normal place this day because I'm actually in the kitchen. So I thought the talk about gout was a great thing. Hey, Vamika, was a great thing to talk about. Hey, Tanya. Hey, Derek, what's up, y'all? So I wanted to, well, one, I'm finishing dinner. The life of a working wife. And I wanted to come on and, what you cooking, Vamika? I'm finishing up Zoe wanted brownies. So I made some sloppy joe and I made some air fryer fries. Anybody use the air fryer? And I'm making some brownies. So I'm putting her brownies in now. So, how's your day been? How's everybody's day been? Has it been a good day? We'll get started in about... Oh, your dad's got gout. Okay, so we're going to talk about some good things about what it means to have gout. Go to your room. And what are some signs of gout? We'll get started in about 2 whole minutes. Let me see. Hold on. Let's see how long I need to let her little brownie stay in. Okay, by the time we get finished with the broadcast, her brownies will be done. So, so you said your dad, oh, you made meatloaf, potatoes, green beans. Woo, honey. You cooking good. I made sloppy joe and air fryer fries. Derek, what you been up to, man? What's going on? What's going on, Tanya? What your mama cooked today? She cooking today? Yes, I love my air fryer. I got 2 for Christmas, and I gave my mama one, right? So, kept on asking, Mama, you using the air fryer? You using the air fryer? I have not used the air fryer because the air fryer is like frying, and I don't want to gain weight. So, last time she came up here, I said, Mama, bring the air fryer up here because we can use both of the air fryers at one time. And then she forgot the air fryer. So now I have 2 air fryers again. But now I'm using them. So we're going to get started because it sounds like everybody got to eat dinner. It's 7:04. You know who I am. I'm Dr. Cree. I'm your board certified family medicine physician. But I specialize in you, the awesome patient that wants to be in the know. Through my Dr. Cree and Me show, my telemedicine practice, my concierge practice, and my awesome live in-person practice, Brownstone Total Family Healthcare. I help you live healthier, happier lives. I'm so happy that you're here. Hey, lady. So happy that you're here to learn about gout, or like a lot of people want to call it, is the gouch. That is not the proper terminology. When you get here, say hi, let me know you're here, and let me know where you're watching from so we can see where we are being viewed. So, let's do a little bit of learning about gout. So, gout, if left untreated, can last about a week at a time. It can last about a week. And if it's not treated, gout actually can cause an increased risk for heart disease and an increased risk for diabetes. So, if you have a loved one that has gout, be mindful of that. Derek said, just working and trying to take the necessary steps to get into somebody's nursing school. Yes, Derek, we'll be praying. We'll be praying for you in that you get into nursing school. Just keep on studying and working hard. So, gout can last about a week. If left untreated, it increases your risk for heart disease and diabetes. Hold on 1 minute. Zoe, turn that TV down or close the door or both. Excuse me. I'm in her space, right? Because I'm supposed to be downstairs, but I'm in the kitchen. Anyway, hey, Shell. So you haven't missed much at all. We talked about gout can last a week, increases your risk of heart disease and diabetes. If you have chronic gout for a very long time, it increases your risk of having kidney stones. So gout is a buildup of what's called uric acid. Somebody, if you'll type that in, a uric, U-R-I-C, uric acid. It's a buildup of uric acid in your bloodstream, and it can cause you to have these deposits, crystal-like deposits, on your joints. The number one place that people get the gout is in their big toe. In the big toe, and it's usually in big vessels. Hey, Kim. It's in not vessels. It's in big joints. So the knees, the big toe, are the number one places that you can get it. You can get it in other places. So they come in, they say, I didn't hurt myself at all. I promise you, I did not hurt myself. But I can't walk. My foot started hurting yesterday. It's red, it's warm. Hey, Ava. It's red, it's warm, it's hot. I can't stand for the covers to even touch it. Oh my gosh, I can't walk. So 9 times out of 10, we're thinking the first thing on my mind is gout. I'm like, what do you like to eat? What's your diet? So we know that gout is a buildup of uric acid. This increase in uric acid can aggravate your kidneys, can give you kidney stones. And when you come to the doctor, if you're having these non-specific joint pains, you hope that your doctor will draw uric acid level. So you can always ask, can you draw my gout level? If you say that, they'll know what you're talking about. Gout can be hereditary as well. So if your family members have gout, be mindful that you are at risk for it as well. But most important, what you're eating is putting you at risk for the gout. So number one, somebody type in the chat, fish. Hey, Brittany. Hey, Brittany, number one, fish. So fish can cause you to have a gout flare when you're eating too much of fish. And to me, that sounds very counterintuitive. Because when I think of gout, I think of, hey, Erica. Hey, Miss Deborah. When I think of gout, I think of bad foods can give you the gout. And that fish is a good food. You know, so a lot of people are like, oh, I'm a pescatarian. I eat fish and salmon and whatever. But too much of any good thing can be bad for you. So fish, and specifically salmon, tuna fish, and sardines. I saw that. Sardines, tuna, and salmon are all kinds of fish that if you eat too much of it, you're at risk for having a gout flare. So now that doesn't mean to say I'm not going to eat these things. That means eat it in moderation. So number one is fish. Number two, hey, Miss Tony. Number two is alcohol. So alcohol is one of the biggest reasons that I see a person with gout. Usually it's because they like to drink, and they like to drink beer. So beer has the biggest risk out of all the alcohols. Beer is the number one cause. One can a day increases your risk of getting the gout by 50%. So 1 can a day. So close that door. One can of beer a day increases your risk for gout by 50%. So that's a lot, because you really don't feel like, a can doesn't sound like a whole lot, but that adds up. I'm cooking, so don't get any more snacks. Sorry, y'all. I'm multitasking. The food almost ready. I'm multitasking. So I'm doing this Facebook Live, so get down. So sorry. Hey, Crystal. Number one, fish. We said salmon, tuna, sardines. Number two, alcohol, but mainly beer. 1 can a day increases your risk by 50%. So, what is gout? Oh, you missed it. You have to start from the beginning. I talked about it. It's a buildup of uric acid in your bloodstream. It causes you to have these crystals, and the crystals deposit in your joints. So your joints get warm, they get hot, they get swollen, they get really irritated, and you feel like you have almost arthritis. It literally flares the joint. And you're like, I didn't injure it, I didn't fall, I didn't break anything, I didn't do any of that. Yes, honey, reality TV. I didn't do any of that, but my foot is swollen. The big toe and the knees are, and you can get them on the elbow. I've seen people that you can come in and they walk in and this is swollen and it's a gout pocket. So you can see it swells up really bad. Zoe, if you don't get out that pantry. Okay, that's a big girl. So we said, Crystal, number one was fish, salmon, tuna, and sardines. Number two is alcohol, beer being the number one. And then 1 can of beer a day increases your risk by 50%. Number three, I know Kim. Number three, caffeine. And that's not, if you're drinking 1 cup of coffee a day, hey Katrina, 1 cup of coffee a day is not that big of a deal. But it's once you start drinking multiple cups of coffee a day that you can increase your risk. I don't think of when I'm throwing out my list, I admit that caffeine is the one that's on my mind. But be mindful that increase in caffeine can cause you to have a gout flare. So fish, alcohol, caffeine, and number 4, fried foods. So fried foods can cause you to have a gout flare. Yes, it increases your risk of having chronic gout. So let's talk about acute and chronic. So acute is like, oh, okay, I got it. I had one flare, a long time ago. And I think they told me I had the gout. Or you have it off and on for less than 3 months. So when we talk about acute and chronic, I start saying, how often are we having these flares? How long do they last? That kind of thing. So fried foods, because it's oil, and usually what we're frying, we probably find more meat. So diets that are high in meat, all good stuff. Fish, alcohol, caffeine, and fried foods are all things that you can ingest that can cause you to have a gout flare. So gout is pretty painful. So how do we treat gout? Zoe, turn the TV down. So I'm back. How do we treat gout? So you come in, you're like, oh my gosh, and you have to draw the level to know exactly how bad the gout is. So we have to. When you get there, we can give you a shot of a steroid shot, an anti-inflammatory shot to try and get the inflammation down to start to improve quickly. So that's the first thing that we do. We draw the uric acid level, check the level, wait for it. We wait for it. And then in the meantime, I'm pretty sure I don't usually have to draw the blood to know that, that's a gout flare because it looks very distinct. It's red, it's hot, it's swollen, and if you get close to it, the person is hollering. Like, don't touch it, it's bothering me, it hurts. So you can start the anti-inflammatory to cool it off. There's something called colchicine, cold crisp that we can start and calm it on down. But you have to make sure that a person with kidney disease or kidney failure is at risk for having gout because you clear the uric acid in your urine. But if your kidneys are very sluggish, it doesn't clear well. So your body holds on to that uric acid. So you're holding on to that uric acid because your body's slow on eliminating the toxins. So, which sucks because then if the person has kidney failure, it makes the gout that much harder. Because if you have kidney failure, and remember we talked about kidney disease, and that's if your kidney function is starting to slow down, you cannot take ibuprofen, which is an anti-inflammatory. You can't take colchicine, which is an anti-inflammatory. You can't take cold crisp, which is an anti-inflammatory. All of those things. Hey, Miss Lane. Hey, honey. All of those things that I mentioned can help to make the gout flare go by quickly. But if you're in kidney failure, you can't take those things. So the concern is like, oh my gosh, what do we do? So then we have to treat with prednisone or steroids. So you have to do steroids to try and get it to cool off and cut back on the inflammation. So gout can be really tricky to treat. And then it calms down and you can start a medicine. Hey, Miss Linda. You can start the medicine. Hey, Kel. You can start allopurinol. You can start Uloric. You can start any of those medicines on a daily basis to keep your gout level down. So we want to, once you get over your flare, we treat it with the shots, we treat it with the steroids, we treat it with the anti-inflammatory, and then you get on something every single day to keep yourself from flaring. But the biggest prevention that you can do is avoidance. So when you're trying to figure out now what else can cause gout, so there's a saying in school that gout is the disease of kings. So steaks, seafood, fancy fish, liquor, all can cause gout flares. So think about things that kings and rich people eat. All of those things. Now hush. All of those things are things that rich people and kings eat. Enough steak that they want to. Shellfish, seafood, fish, alcohol. They're probably drinking coffee all day whenever they want to. And of course, fried foods. So gout is a disease of the rich man or the king. So that's how you can remember it. So remember, gout lasts about a week. Untreated can increase your risk of diabetes and heart disease. Chronic gout can lead to kidney stones because you get a buildup of that uric acid. Uric acid is cleared through your kidneys. Your body holds onto it and builds up. It builds up, and you get this big stone, and you really start to hurt. Build up of uric acid. And how do we know that you have gout? You go to the doctor and you get an awesome clinical exam. You get the clinical exam as well as the uric acid level drawn, and then we have it. Treated with anti-inflammatories and steroids. And a few foods that can cause gout is fish, alcohol, caffeine, fried foods. So watch those. You can have whatever you want, really, in moderation. But more than a can a day of beer is too much, because 1 can a day, every day, can increase your risk by 50%. Does anybody have any questions on gout? I know some people said that the family members had gout. So as you can see, prevention is key. What time is it? 7:17. Any questions? So make sure you're watching your diet. Watch your diet, watch your family's diet. And usually the person with gout is an African American man. 9 times out of 10, they are the ones that have it because the diet is reflective of alcohol, caffeine, and fried foods. So thank you so much. Well, thank you guys for joining. Hey, Shauna. Oh, I wanted to tell you guys something. So, I'm having a Wifeology conference in June 22nd. Yeah. No, red meat is bad too. So red meat, remember I said steak is the king. I don't know if you was here, Alginette, but red meat is a king's, think of steak and the king's meal. So red meat can be bad for you. Fish is good. It's just the amount of fish. Hey, Deidre. Amount of fish, Katrina. And too much salmon, too much tuna, too much sardines. So not all kinds of fish, but the ones that are rich in purines is what causes the gout. So if you're going to be eating it every single day, just be mindful. Thanks. Thank you so much, Miss Deborah. But I want you to know that I am starting the Cortland Arrington Memorial Scholarship for those of you that don't live in Alabama. Hey, Maggie. Cortland. Ari, hush. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm trying to do too many things at one time. Cortland was the teenager that was killed at Huffman High School a couple of months ago. She was a graduating senior preparing to go to nursing school. So I'm starting, Dr. Cree LLC is starting the Cortland Arrington Memorial Scholarship, and that I'm doing in conjunction with my Wifeology Working Wives Conference. So I am going to drop the link if anybody wants to give to the Cortland Arrington Scholarship Fund. You can do that. The link is bit.ly/Cortland Scholar. So I don't know if Kim's still on here. Kim, if you are, will you put the link in the chat? So I put a post up, and we're gonna give the scholarship to a person that goes to the Birmingham City School, female Birmingham City School student who's interested in the medical field with 3.0. So if you want to give, please give and support the cause. The schools were so excited that we were going to be giving to them. The principal said a lot of people had been out, but we were some of the first people to kind of act on that. Oh, hey, Dave. That's okay. So we're starting the Cortland Arrington Memorial Scholarship. She was a teenager that was killed at Huffman High School a couple of months ago, and her interest was in medicine. So Dr. Cree LLC will be starting the Cortland Arrington Memorial Scholarship in conjunction with my Wifeology event. So more information to come, but I will post a link here if anyone wants to give a donation to the scholarship. It will go to a Birmingham City student, female student, that's interested in the medical field. The link is bit.ly/Cortland Scholar without an S. So somebody got that, if you can type it in. And if you're interested in coming to Wifeology, tickets are now $99 for the weekend. They're on sale because my birthday is Wednesday. The code is Happy Birthday, no space, for your tickets, and go to www.drcree.com. That's DOCTORKRE.com/Wifeology. Anyway, Dave, Denise, y'all check the replay. I'm upstairs because I'm cooking. And I've yelled at Zoe and the dog multiple times. So know that that's the life of a working wife and mother. So, but I didn't want to leave you guys hanging since I couldn't come last week. Thank you for all the well wishes and my graduation. Thank you, Glendora, for my graduation from the Medical Mogul Academy, and I was voted Medical Mogul of the Year, which is awesome because that's out of 37 other doctors. So thank the Lord. So I'm working hard for the people and for you. You know who I am. I'm Dr. Cree. I'm a board certified family medicine physician, and I specialize in what's important to you through my concierge practice, my telemedicine practice, and my awesome in-person practice, Brownstone Total Family Healthcare. I help you everyday people learn to live well, love well, and know better, because I feel like when you know better, you can do better. So thank you so much. Check out Give to the Scholarship. Give to the scholarship if you can, and take care of your loved ones, take care of yourselves, and watch eating those bad foods so you don't get the gout. Thank you so much. I'll see you next Monday. Thank y'all.